Hi guys, we are here with Deonte Finch, actor, and we're gonna actually learn more about him now. What is it that you do?
So, right now, I'm an electrician.
Oh,
I'm an electrician union at Local 357. I'm also a network engineer and a field engineer for the telecom industry,
whoa.
working on the shelters at the bottom of cell phone towers. And 2 years ago, I started acting, so I'm also an actor.
Just 2 years ago and you've already done all that.
Yes,
That's
yes.
impressive. You
Thank
guys,
you.
yeah. Can you share a little bit like about your journey into acting? What or who inspired you to pursue a career in acting?
Well, actually, I've always been very interested in being an entertainer. When I was about 8 years old, I remember going on an audition to be on a segment because I'm from Flint, Michigan, and we
Okay.
had a segment where they would let kids on the news. So I was like, oh, I want to be on TV. Because growing up, I thought the kids on TV had so much fun, and I
Oh,
liked it imitating them and the voices and the characters. So I always wanted to do that. But being from Flint, Michigan, we didn't have any film going on in the city. Like no film industry at all.
really?
Not even in Detroit had a film industry growing up. So as I got older, got like I did do theater in middle school.
Oh wow. Okay.
I didn't do theater in high school. I don't think we had any productions at my high school, which is no longer open anymore. It closed down about 2013, Flint Northern High School.
Closed.
Yes,
Oh my.
yes, yeah, because the population decreased, so they got rid of a few schools out there. They got rid of
People have to
Central.
travel to go to school? Like
No, it's
far?
just because it's like less kids in the city, so they closed down like 3 high schools in the city and changed the name of some, switched it around.
Wow.
Yes. So after I graduated high school, I got back interested in being an entertainer. So I wanted to be in movies and TV shows. So what I did was I was like, there's no film industry here, but if I make a hit song, I can be in the industry and use that notoriety to get in and get auditions for stuff. So I started recording music in about
Wow.
2006. So, yes, I started paying for studio time, recording. I got a bunch of songs made, and then I ended up getting my own studio.
Oh wow.
So, not only recording for me, started producing for other artists, and I
Not
just was
trying to
making a bunch of
stereotype,
music.
but was it
Yes.
R&B, hip hop? What was it?
So, I was rapping, yes. Yes,
Okay.
yes. So I was rapping, yes.
Oh man,
Yeah, and it
want to
was a lot
rap
of
for us
fun.
real quick?
You can rap something?
Yeah.
Uh, I can rap something later.
All right.
Let's give it a start.
We'll do
Yeah.
the interview for
Yeah,
now.
yeah, I was just about to freestyle, but
Oh, shit.
yeah, but it was a lot of fun though. So I used to do a lot of live shows on stages out there, different clubs, different venues.
In Michigan.
Yes, in Michigan. Lil Boosie came through. Me and my partner I was rapping with at the time, Paperboy. We opened up for him for 2 shows
Oh wow.
out there in Michigan. And it was a lot of fun. It was
Cool.
on flyers and out there advertising our shows that was coming up.
Nice.
But I didn't get a song that was a hit. So, I recorded for a few years. And then in 2014 is when I moved out to LA. And yes, and where I met my wife, Crystal.
Why
Yes.
LA?
Well, I did shortly go out to Arizona from Flint. I went out to Arizona and I was traveling like around the country doing telecom work. Yes, but then I couldn't
work.
travel a lot. So what I did was I found a job in Anaheim, California. That was the closest permanent job I can find in the industry without having a traveling contract. So me and my son, it was almost 1 at the time, we ended up moving to Compton, California.
Compton.
Yeah.
Oof.
It was actually nicer than Flint as far as the safety wise.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's not bad, Compton, yeah.
Sounds like you're like you've
Uh,
gotten better and
it
better
did.
each time.
Yeah, so it did have that reputation before I went out there. I was like, oh man, Compton, I've been out wearing any crazy colors. But I didn't have any issues out there.
Oh wow, that's
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
They're like, yeah, it's
Yes. So fast forward, we ended up, I met my wife, and we got married in 2016, and then 2018 in July we moved to Vegas. Yes, I ended up getting my realtor's license.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, and we looked at a bunch of houses before we moved out here. Looked at like 20 houses in a weekend.
Smart. You guys bought the house. You got also your
Yeah.
percentage.
Yeah, I did get the commission off the
Oh,
house.
very cool.
So yeah, so that was
So
cool.
you're also a realtor, electrician.
I'm not a
actor.
realtor anymore.
Oh, you're not?
So I got into real estate knowing it was temporary for me. I became a realtor because I just wanted to know the ins and outs, everything about the industry for future investments.
I got you.
Yes.
Ooh, very good.
Yes.
To become a real estate investor.
Yes. But I
Nice.
wanted to know ins and outs and actually be doing it for a while. But the pandemic is when I let my license lapse because you couldn't hold open houses anymore.
Oh.
And for me, that was an opportunity because to let it go because during the day, I was working at the Raider Stadium at the time as an electrician. And after I got off work, I would go show some houses.
Yeah.
So I had a pretty long schedule. But when the pandemic shut it down, I was like, well, you know, I was busy doing electrician stuff anyway.
So wow.
Yes. But
Oh, so
I
you
got
don't want to do it anymore.
No.
So much competition though. Like
in the real estate. Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
Feels like everybody's a realtor out here.
Yeah.
It's like what?
I don't think it's anyone's plan A, but it happens
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, unless you come from a family of realtors, maybe.
Yeah, and then you
you
have
know
like
how
the
lucrative it is.
connections.
Yeah, and then I know recently the industry changed to where the Association of Realtors got sued because they had like monopoly on the system to where you couldn't get on the multiple listing site unless you was a realtor and you couldn't get access. So that I know that changed and hurt
Yeah.
a lot of the industry now too.
I think so. I think I remember something like that.
Yeah,
right?
recently.
Yeah.
Uh,
'Cause,
like 6
Zillow
months
was
ago.
buying all kinds of like either Zillow or Redfin, one of them sites also were doing
Yes.
stuff, shady
Yes,
stuff. Yeah.
monopoly.
Well, back to acting. How do you
Yes.
prepare for a new role, especially if it's significantly different from your previous characters?
So, the best thing to do if you do have access, if you do get cast in a part, is to read the entire script because it'll let you know really a full glimpse of how the character should be instead of just reading only his lines. Because then you need to know how to deliver it, what type of emotion you should have. And then once you got that down in your mind, how the character should be overall, then you commit the lines to memory.
So you kind of have, do you like create that character and then throughout the day, do you try to become that character like outside of set? Or do you know when to turn it on and off? Because a lot of actors, they kind of like, even the Heath Ledger, right? The guy that,
Yeah, like method acting. Yeah.
like they become that person for a while and they're stuck in that character. It can be kind of wild.
Yeah, I would
Especially for
say.
your wife, she'd be like,
Yes.
what is going on with my husband? He turns into this.
Yeah, I think I got to those in the zone like that for like auditions, self-tape auditions. But I say overall, the characters that I got so far wasn't like too complex to where I really had to live in that mind space. You know, there's more, I guess, more normal people. You know, instead of like
so
some big, over exuberant personality or some. So I haven't got that yet, to where I really had to buckle down and do a method actor. But yeah, I think the bigger than life character is, then the more I would have to tap into that. But to me, that seemed like a fun challenge. So I'm looking forward to getting something like that.
that would be cool.
Yes.
Stuff like that. How do you, what do you think are the biggest challenges facing actors today? Would artificial intelligence be like an issue? What do you think?
So right now, artificial intelligence, I think, is an issue for commercials. Because I do know that you can plug a script into AI and it can make these people up and make a whole commercial without any actors. It can just make up people who never existed. So I do see why the union is important in that aspect. and why there was a SAG strike. Like, no, we don't want AI in that capacity. The one thing part where I don't have a problem with AI, if somebody low budget trying to fill a stadium with like 60,000 people, I think that's a unfair task to get 60,000 extras. Yeah. So I have been a part of a process like NBA 2K commercial where they took like 300 of us and duplicated some of that 300 just to fill the stadium. Wow. And to me, that's fair, especially if you don't have millions of dollars to give to some extras to just sit in the stands. So that's, yeah. But to completely replace all the scene, all the characters for like a toothpaste commercial, I don't think that's right. And that would be
that's greedy on their part.
Because you're going to get so much money, so much profit off this commercial. You can spend a couple $1,000 to pay some actors, just for that day to shoot a toothpaste commercial.
Yeah, you're right. But how do you feel from an actor's perspective? Like if they took my face and they put me an extra in there, but I'm not making any money off of that. Like they're using, whose face are they really? They just come up with imaginary stuff, or do they use a specific person? And
yeah, well, that was part of the strike. They was trying to pay an extra $100 to use their likeness forever. Yes, I would never sign up for that.
No.
Yeah, and that was a challenge, and that's what the strike was about. To me, like, I would sign off to duplicate myself for just that project, like in the audience. Just for that one commercial, take the one-time payment, and whatever residuals if possible, if it's something that's going to be shown for years. But just that one project. You shouldn't sign off where I can use your image and duplicate
if I don't
you.
Know.
Yes, and all these names. And they would try to put that language in there. Sign now, and we're just going to use your image for all our projects forever.
So you got to be very careful when signing on a contract these days. Because what if you sign on some stuff and then they be putting you in a porn movie? It's like, wait, I didn't sign up for this.
Exactly. Yeah, and I did miss out on something because when it first was coming out, I didn't understand it. And they was like, can we sign to duplicate you? And I was like, whoa. I said, no, I'm not going to apply for that. But come to find out, they were saying for just that project. I found out later. I was like, oh, okay. I would have been a part of it.
But you have a judge wife, so I mean, soon to be judge wife, you'll be fine.
Yes. Well, I was busy doing other projects too. I was like, well, I don't want to leave these projects to shoot something where they're going to use my likeness forever. So I didn't even apply for it.
That's smart.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a thing. Have you ever turned down a role? If so, can you share why and how you made that decision?
So I wasn't offered a role that I turned down, but reading from a description, it was a lot of things that I just didn't apply for. Because I was like, sometimes descriptions are vague. So actually I did turn one thing down. It was very early in my career. It was going to be shot in LA. And I signed up, it wanted a rapper. I said, okay, you're going to be like acting real life and everything. And I applied for it, and they picked me. And then they sent me more information about it. And it wanted me to be kissing on screen and all this other stuff and being in multiple relationships, and I was like, well, this is heavy. And it wasn't paying a lot. So I was like, I turned it down. Yeah. It was like, I was kind of fresh in acting, and I was like, okay, I didn't know it was this involved. I thought I was just going to be rapping and acting. I was like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was like, he's in a secret relationship with his manager and then all these other people. And I was like, no, I don't want to. Yeah, so I tapped out. Yeah, I was like, I'm not ready for all that, yeah.
So is that one of a decision that you made because you don't want to be portrayed like that, and is it because your values, you don't want to be kissing another woman, or is it because your wife will be giving you the business?
Well, it wasn't.
Both.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't just kissing another woman. It was like, he was like a secret life, so it was like kissing everybody, and I was like, well,
I don't want to get catch no cooties.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was like, I haven't even kissed a woman on screen yet, at that point. I was like, yeah, I can't. It was like a double life and everything, and it was a heavy role for the pay that was coming with it. It wasn't worth it to travel all the way to LA for that type of pay.
So if it's good money, you would be kissing on
Um,
an actress over there.
yeah.
Dang, I'm
yeah.
trying to get you in trouble.
No. So my wife, she's not jealous. She understands the acting world. So if I got cast in a big movie and I had to kiss a woman, she'd be on board with that. It's just acting. Yeah.
Dang, that's your ride or
Yeah.
die. Wow, amazing.
I say it'd probably be weird though, seeing her in a movie kissing, but she don't act though, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a one-way thing only. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly, because I also act. I
Yes.
can't. The whole kissing thing is not. I can't do that.
Yeah, I haven't had any
Nude
on-screen
kissing,
kisses
none
yet.
of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christian movies, I could totally see you in a Christian movie.
Yeah. I try to apply.
Yeah, I think I would totally see you in one of them.
Yeah, I actually got cast in a TV series that films in January. It has a lot of good values, a lot of scripture. And at the end, not the character saying, but it's like positive messaging.
Yes, I like those, and I'm really searching for roles in those in that industry, looking hard and hoping Mark Wahlberg was gonna open that thing that he's been talking about out here in Vegas. I'm excited.
Yeah, I heard Sony and Warner Brothers are putting their bids in. Yes.
Yeah, so they better hurry up before we're too old.
Yeah.
We feel like 6-year-old trying to act.
Well, that's one thing about the acting world that's
Yeah.
different from the singer world, where you can get your start at an older age. Because, there's people in movies at all ages.
That's true.
Compared to like a singer, they got to start young and then they can have a long career and be singing when they're old. Yeah, but not many singers start at like 60, Yeah, on a bigger level.
Isn't Samuel Jackson started in his 40s?
Yes, I believe so.
Harrison Ford too.
Yes.
Even though Anne Hathaway, she says, if you're in your 30s, it's already too late.
No.
Like, dang.
Yeah, because there's too many actors you got the grandmother, you got the aunties. It's every age range. I think it's actually easier to find the young actors in this, the older actors. The older actors are more in demand because you can find a bunch of little kids to put in a movie, but you can't find like a bunch of close senior citizens to put in a movie.
Yeah, that are not senile and that can still memorize.
Yeah, so that's why you do see a lot of the older people in a lot of movies. Yeah, because I've seen some that started when they 70 and they got a long resume. Wow. They been, the grandma in all these movies and stuff.
Like, that's the same old grandma.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, are there any upcoming projects you're excited about that you can share with us that you're about to do? Anything you want to share?
So the only thing on my calendar so far is a TV series. I don't want to say the name because I did sign an NDA and I put a post up about it and they instantly got on me. They was like, "Hey, you signed the NDA. Can you wait until we say?" I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah."
Yeah, you can't. No, you don't want to get in trouble. So it's a TV series.
Yes, it's a season 2. I can say that.
Very cool.
I'm not in season 1, but I'm excited to be a part of season 2.
Nice.
I was sent 4 episodes already to get familiar with.
Ooh, so you did 4 already?
Yeah. Well, we haven't filmed them yet, but they sent me 4 scripts.
Fantastic. Yes. It's time to start studying.
Yes, yes. So
exciting.
I would have been auditioning more, but currently I'm a campaign manager for my wife that's running for judge, Crystal Bradford.
Yes.
And she did ask me hey, can you stop working so much and help me with this campaign? So I took a step back from auditioning and stuff. But she was like, as soon as the election is over, you can hit it hard again. Start back auditioning, yes. Yeah. Yeah, because so far, been a part of about 40 projects since I started 2 years ago.
40?
Yeah.
Out here in Vegas? All of them?
All of them except for one. I did go to LA. I was Equal Justice with Ebony K. Williams. I filmed that out in LA. Yeah.
How do you find these auditions? Where do you get?
So that one was from Actors Access.
I
And
don't like that website at all. It's like it's
yeah, I
complicated.
haven't been on there in a while. Yeah, I paid for like a year subscription,
I
you
know
know, get
too,
the
and I'm
discount.
like,
Yeah. So it's like most of the work I got on there was in LA.
okay.
So I didn't renew it. Some Vegas stuff do pop up. So then now I just pay like individually if I submit for something like that. You know, that is in Vegas. But a lot of my early gigs came from Facebook and
Groups?
yes, Facebook groups.
Interesting.
Yes, and also
People are
now,
still on Facebook?
yeah, I haven't gotten on there in a while. Most of my recent stuff came from backstage.
Backstage?
Yes.
Really? I've had backstage for years. I never got anything. Well, one thing. Only one thing.
Yeah, it's tough. Like it was a lot of student projects.
Uh-huh.
So for like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was no pay. So for me starting off, to rewind a little bit, I got into the acting recently, 2 years ago because we had went to a ball, me and my wife out in Atlanta. And while we was out mingling, I met a lady there. She was like, she's an actress. I was like, really? It was an older lady. She was like, yeah, I do a lot of movies. I'm like, oh, okay. And she was like, and it was like, we're from Vegas. And she brought up the fact, oh, I know some directors that just moved from Atlanta to Las Vegas. And it was, she said Bobby Peoples. And my wife, Crystal, was already friends with him.
Oh, wow.
So when we made it back to Vegas, she was already friends with him on Facebook. I looked into it. It's like, huh. And then I seen his wife was having a acting class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was online over Zoom. And it was during the pandemic. So okay, cool. And I also had extra time because at the time I was doing network engineering for Dish Wireless, where I was out in the field, but most of the time was like I was remote. So I had extra time. So I was able to take the classes. It was like one day a week for 6 weeks.
Okay.
So they had different assignments and it progressed and doing monologues. And I was like, why are you in this class? I was like, well, I was interested in acting when I was younger, and now I want to see if I still have it. And I was like, well, I think you got potential. You should keep going. Keep auditioning. So I started auditioning for stuff for no pay. For like the first 6 months, I did a bunch of projects where I only got paid once, and that was like $50.
Oh.
Yes. But what happened, I didn't realize what I was doing. So I was getting experience, but I was also building a resume, even though I didn't get paid for the stuff. So with that resume I built, I was able to audition for BattleBots. And they ended up calling me back for another interview, and I ended up booking it. So I turned to,
That was worth it, huh?
yes, I didn't have any improv experience, but then I get booked on a show where I got scripted lines and improv. So with BattleBots, I ended up doing 317 shows. And it was all because all this free acting that I did and all these projects that built up my resume to get me in the door for the audition. So what turned it was when I was doing it, a lot of times I was calling off of work where I got paid to go act for free. So
Wow.
yeah, so it was like a sacrifice because I was like, well, I want to know what all these different sets are like because I know no two sets are the same. I
Right.
want to know the ins and out, the terminology that they're using these days. I want to learn everything. So I was taking time out of going to work to go do these free acting, and then it paid off because I ended up not working for Dish Wireless anymore. I started working for Verizon, which was 100% remote. So that gave me even more time. So
go.
yeah, it's about time I did my BattleBots audition. I was working for Verizon. I was able to take my laptop to work
Oh, very
to
cool.
to the audition. I went to lunch, went audition, and then log back in after lunch and get back to work. And then it worked out. I had like a 30-minute window where it overlapped where I was still on the clock for Verizon, so I could take my laptop to work and be backstage because we had to be to BattleBots 90 minutes before showtime. So I could keep working on my laptop until it's time for me to log off and then get changed into my costume and go do BattleBots.
Wow. That sounds like.
Yeah, but then after the BattleBots, I would leave and go to an acting class or go shoot a movie. So it was like doing 3 things in a day.
And you had a wife too over there?
Yes.
Waiting at home?
Yes. So sometimes you have things going on to where I could take the kids with me and they could
And
watch the
kids.
show. Yeah, yes, the battle bots. Yeah, because I'd be on set and they'd be like, man, you on all these different sets and projects. Don't you got kids and stuff? I was like, yeah. But, she'll work during the day. So when she get off work, she could watch the kids and then I could go to set and shoot a movie. So it was, give and take. So she was very supportive.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You can't find another one like her, I'm telling you.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah,
wow.
I believe it, yes.
That is. And a lot of people are like, well, I can't do that because I have kids, I have.
Yeah.
Look at him. If he
Yeah.
can do all that,
Yeah.
there's no excuse.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the other night we both had went. Oh, we had to split our time. I went to one event for campaigning. She had to go to another. And a lot of times, my daughter that's 16, she can watch the kids for a couple hours. But she had something to go to, too. She had to perform. She's in the dance. So we had to take the kids to daycare, go to the events, and then go back and pick them up. So
There's always a way where there's will.
yes, when there's will, you're right about that. Yes.
Wow. What about directors? Like some directors, actors, or writers you'd love to work with in the future, and why?
Well, I do like the Power universe. So I wouldn't mind being on one of those projects because I like the way they draw out the season, the series.
Power Universe.
Yes, so like the BMF series, or it was a TV series called Power. Wouldn't mind being a character on that. It used to come on Showtime.
Okay.
Yes, but also the Netflix series that have multiple seasons, like The Umbrella Academy or Stranger Things. It wouldn't
So like
mind
one
being
of
on
them
something like that.
TV
Yeah.
shows. So you're more of a TV show guy rather than a movie guy.
I'm a movie buff, but I do appreciate, like, I was a huge fan of Ozark, where like each episode is kind of like a movie, and
I
the
see.
contrast is dark. Yeah, so either one, as long as it's good storytelling, where the characters, actors look believable, because there's times, back when I was single, I was just a workaholic. I go to work, and I just shower, go to sleep. But I'm at home by myself because I'm single, so like I used to just watch movies all the time, and it'd be like another person there, and I just put myself into that world, into that film, or into that series, and just really embody those characters. And it's very big love for film and television.
So you've always had that.
Yes.
Who's your favorite actor of all time?
Favorite actor? Let me see. I would say I like the characters that Denzel plays because he can do variations and be
Sounds
different
amazing.
people.
Yeah.
Yes. But also do like the work ethic of like Samuel Jackson. He seems like himself in a lot of films, but it comes off genuine. So I do like that. This
Pulp
where it's
Fiction.
natural.
That Pulp Fiction scene. I was
Yes.
like, wow, it's good.
Yes. But I do like seeing the diversity, like of another one, Leonardo DiCaprio. He is very diverse in the characters he can play.
Oh, Leo,
Yes. Yeah, Leo.
yeah. I may not
a big
agree
fan.
with him outside of set.
Yeah.
With his
But
lifestyle.
on the films, yeah.
But the films, yeah,
Yes.
spot on, that
Yes.
dude. Yeah, I agree. What advice would you give aspiring actors starting out in the industry?
All right. So the advice I would give an aspiring actor just started out is advice. Luckily, I didn't need much of it, but don't pay to act.
Don't pay to act.
Yes,
okay.
because when you're starting off, you go to a lot of programs that pop up that's for beginners, and they all offer you, hey, I can be your agent, but just pay me these thousands of dollars. And I seen that offered
You
to
got
me a
scammed
lot.
too?
Yeah,
You got scammed too? I did too.
almost.
I did.
I did get one
Out here in
scam,
Vegas.
but I guess I did kind of pay for something. So I paid for some headshots. And then after the headshots, they was talking to me like, hey, you've been doing this? I said, no, I haven't did anything yet. And they was like, well, pay us this money. It was like $250 or $450.
Okay.
They was like, pay us this money, and what we can do, we'll shoot you. No, first they said we were supposed to be shooting something, but the guy dropped out because he was not unavailable. He not answer us back. So give us the $450, where they send me a package. You can get like 2 movies for $500, or 1 movie, for like $250, and I had something booked coming up, and I had never did anything before. So I was like, you know what, this would be good practice, and let me pay. And once I got there and was going through the process, like I had a script beforehand. I was like, okay, this is a money grab because I said all the lines once. They didn't give me any direction. Like, hey, can you say it more like this? And they just rushed through it. And they did edit it and give it to me, but when I seen the final project, I was like, okay, it was a money grab. So that was the very first thing I ever did. I had to pay for it. But since then, I was like, ran into agencies, like, hey, we want to represent you. So I go there, and by this time I had a little bit of a resume. And I was like, you know what, we like you, but, you just want you to take these classes, and they're like $1,500. But you can make payments. And, but it doesn't guarantee you any work. They're just your agent. So, I was like, no, if you believe in me, you would make your money off booking me a paid gig. So that's why I was like, no, so I didn't do that.
Oh, that's smart.
Yes, and then I ran into another lady, another agency. She was like, huh, you good? She did say you can sign this non-exclusive agreement. But she was like, you know what? You just need some new headshots. I was like, oh, I just took some. And I was showing her. She was like, did you lose some weight? You look a little small. I was like, yeah, I lost a little bit. Oh, well, we're going to need you to get some current headshots. I can do it for $600. But the first interaction, she was like, oh, this company is very interested in booking you. And then it seemed like, okay, they're like, did they call you that? They should be calling you. I said, no, I didn't call you. And it seemed like she had me on the string, like, I know them. If you pay me $600 for these headshots, but I saw through it, so I didn't pay $600 for the headshots.
Wow.
Yeah,
So it's a lot of that out here in Vegas. Or maybe it's the whole country. I don't know, but
probably the whole country.
so
Yeah,
sad.
yeah. So they got on my very first project, but all the other
Wow.
projects, I got paid for or act for the IMDb credit, which is cool going into it. I did get scammed once where I agreed to pay. This was from backstage. I was like, hey, we're going to give you $100 a day. I'm like, okay. I was supposed to be a doctor, I believe. So I went, I did the acting, and, it wasn't a big script, but I had to go different locations. So when we wrapped that day, I texted the director. I said, so how am I receiving payment? And they was like, payment? We say extras don't get paid or something. I was like, but I had a speaking role. But I had to send them screenshots of what was promised from the posting. It was like, oh, that was a mistake. My assistant, I told her she messed that up. I'm like, well,
Oh my.
she works for you. So for me, like, you gotta just man up because, if I posted something, like, I'm gonna pay you $100 to come pick up this refrigerator, then you come pick it up, and I'm like, oh, I made a mistake on the posting. So
That's not it.
yeah, yeah. Then they try to get me like sign this release form and I'll pay you. I was like, no, you pay me, then I'll sign a release form. So I guess it's not gonna see the light of day because I never signed a release form. So like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they never paid.
yeah. And then it's like, then they tried to pay me half. I said,
That is some
but
weird
still,
stuff out there.
no, but still they wanted me to sign a release form before I got paid. So I was like, no, you can pay me, and I'll think about signing a release form because I did the work. But so that went sour. But it wasn't just me; it was a lot of people put that person on blast because he stiffed a lot of people promising on pay on that project. So it wasn't just me. But hopefully, none of them other people signed the release form, like I didn't sign.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
I bet you a
yeah.
lot of them did.
But being on all the projects, I ran in a little bit of everything. But there was only 2 times where I got scammed.
So watch out, pay
Yeah,
attention, be
yeah.
careful.
Well, I'll say the first time I didn't get scammed because it was up front. You gonna do this? I just couldn't have been happy with the. It's not my fault. I wasn't happy with the final product. At least that was spelled out up front what I was gonna be getting. Yeah.
And to wrap it up, that camera's off, but it's okay. We'll just use yours. Any last words?
Last words is be consistent and be active, and you will get somewhere. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. And thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thanks so
Appreciate it.
much.